Hey everybody! Today is weigh-in day, and I lost 4/10 of a pound. Not very much, despite how much I worked out this week, so I'm a little bummed, but I officially weigh 175.5. I kind of figured I knew what it was from. Despite all the working out I did, which I'll go into more detail about that in a second, pretty much every night when I got home from work, I started this terrible habit of snacking. So after I get out of work, it's like 11:30, I get home, I open the fridge, I look for something to eat. There was one night I had a big bag of popcorn. There was one night I had cucumber chopped up, which isn't bad. But then there was one night that I had like a huge plate of nachos and like cheese. Like, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just surprised I didn't have more of a gain, or, a gain, rather than a loss, because earlier in the week I stepped on the scale and I was like, oh my god, I had gone up like 3 pounds, and I was like, what? Oh my god, I have to do something. So I tried to limit my intake of food at night. Like last night I had a handful of pretzels and a glass of light chocolate soy milk, which was really delicious. But I'm trying now to stop the snacking after I get home from work. It's a terrible habit. I don't even know where I picked it up from. I'm just really disappointed in myself that I started to snack like that, but it's done. I have the next few days off. We're going to Tallahassee. As you can see, this is all the stuff we're bringing to Sydney. I went through a bunch of my stuff, and Mom went through a bunch of her stuff, and Sydney's moving into an apartment, so I'm really excited to go up and help her move. We're leaving tomorrow morning at like 4 a.m., maybe 5, I don't know. Anyway, so I started running a lot this week. I was on the phone with Julie last week, and she was giving me some really good advice, and she told me that if I don't use the resources around me, then it's me that's getting in the way of my weight loss. And I was like, you know what, you're so right. And actually, she made a video about those same words because they really spoke to her too. So basically the next day, I went to Ren's mom's gym. She lives in an apartment complex a little farther away from where I live. And so I just drive there in the morning, and I whipped my butt into gear, I mean, for 5 days, I walked on the treadmill for a few minutes, or I'd go on the elliptical machine for a few minutes to warm up, and then I would jump on the treadmill and I would run for as long as I possibly could. And I did really well for the first couple days. For the first 3 days, I ran at least a half an hour on the treadmill. So running about a half an hour really built up my endurance. I didn't feel any pain in my shin. I was doing so good. And then on the 4th day, I was on the treadmill for 10 minutes to warm up. And then I started running at a speed of 4.5. And 15 minutes into it, I had run a mile and a quarter, like 1.25. And all of a sudden, I had this excruciating pain in my shin, and I had to just stop. It just took the wind out of me. It was so painful. I was like limping all around. I was so disappointed in myself. I know that it's nothing that I really did, but it pisses me off because I was doing so good, and I was working so hard to build up my endurance. But my dad's home. Anyway, so yesterday, even though I still felt the shin pain, I went over to Ren's mom's gym, and I went on the elliptical machine, rather than running for such a long distance. Went on the elliptical machine for about 15 minutes, which burns a hell of a lot of calories, surprisingly. And then I went on the treadmill for about 10 minutes, and I jogged at a really slow pace, like almost walking speed. I was jogging at like 4.1. So it hurt after I did it, but I've been icing it, and I've been putting this like rice bag on it, and actually today it feels really good. I didn't feel really hardly any pain. But today, rather than going to the gym, I cleaned out my car, which I probably should have gone to the gym too, but we're taking my car up to Tallahassee tomorrow, and it's been like seriously years since I vacuumed it out and like armor-alled it and everything. So now my RAV looks brand new, and now we can pack a bunch of stuff in it to take up to Sydney. Anyway, so if anyone has any good ideas on how to get rid of shin splints, Julie just told me not to stop, just to keep running through the pain, and I've done some research on it, and it said just to stretch, and there's like certain stretches that you can do, but the thing is, reading it is really difficult. Like, I clicked on shin splint stretches, or shin stretches, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I'm reading it and I still can't seem to understand how to stretch exactly. I don't know, it seems more complicated than it needs to be. Anyway, I'm happy for the loss of 4/10 of a pound. It's not very much, but it's better than a maintain and better than a gain. So this week my goal is to cut out my night snacking. If I'm hungry when I get home, just to have like a glass of chocolate soy milk or a glass of water or something, because I need to stop eating so late, because I know that's why my loss isn't bigger than before. And plus, I think I'm kind of reaching a weight where I'm not going to be losing as much weight as quickly as I was, because now I'm reaching kind of a stable weight, and I'm feeling that from here on down to my goal, I'm going to lose the weight a lot more slowly than I have been. And I think that's just something that naturally happens when your body starts to lose a lot of the fat, and then I just think it's going to slow down from here on out. So we'll see. Anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.